Hi, everybody. Welcome to the KNX Dialogue Series. Today, we have a very special guest. We have the newly elected president of KNX, Jean-Christophe Krieger, who, since October 1st, has become the president of the Global KNX Association. So, Jean-Christophe works for Schneider Electric. It's a French multinational corporation that specializes in digital automation and energy management. I'm sure you've all heard of it. And for many years, he has led worldwide teams to develop innovative solutions for smart homes and buildings. So welcome, Jean-Christophe. Thanks for joining us. And perhaps you could, tell us a little bit about why you accepted this KNX role.
Sure. Hello, Bob, and hello, everybody. Actually, I'm in the KNX business since 18 years. Since the acquisition of Merton by the company Schneider Electric. And this is where my journey in KNX started. I had different positions in the company Schneider Electric, and KNX was all the time in my radar. I joined as well the executive board in 2006 to represent Schneider Electric, and then became the vice president of KNX in 2021. So for me, becoming the president this year is the normal next step moving forward. I'm a passionate person, and with a technical background, but that was when I was a little child. I'm a more customer, product management, or product marketing focused and centric since years now. And all over the years, my job was to lead teams, global teams around the globe to develop products, so what we call connected devices, controllers, apps, software, at the end, deliver a system for homes and buildings. That's why KNX is the perfect fit to my passion.
Thank you, Jean-Christophe. And again, a leader has to have a vision. So what is your vision of KNX as the leader in open and flexible building solutions? And why do you see KNX Open Standard as essential to sustainability?
So thank you for the question, Bob. Let's start by reminding that KNX is the secure, global, connected, worldwide open standard. And this is known. The reputation is well established since many years to provide smart solutions, sustainable solutions for homes and buildings. That's known on the market. And of course, we need to continue on that path. And since day one, and day one is 34 years ago, I would say that the strategy of KNX has been all the time visionary. When I say that, it started by specifying that KNX is a multi-application system. Multi-application meaning lighting, blinds, shutters, heating, cooling, metering, and many more. And at the same time, a hybrid system. Hybrid meaning offer a wired and or wireless and or IP technology to cover all needs of home and commercial buildings, and for new build and for renovation. So as KNX is on a constant move, our current strategic pillars demonstrate that KNX, as I said before, is visionary. Look, we have three pillars these days. We have KNX Secure. KNX Secure is now on a fast move to be the answer for CRA, so the Cybersecurity Resilience Act. KNX is also focusing on energy management to answer to the EPBD expectations. And we have KNX IoT to bring KNX to the next level. So the vision is we have set the scene, we have three pillars, but of course, more to come to secure the future.
So those are impressive pillars, Jean-Christophe. And how do you go from there to make KNX the digital platform for all the personas in the value chain in the global system?
First, I would say that we have in the executive board defined what we call the North Star. So the North Star is where do we want to be in 5-10 years from now. And for me, as a president, I want us to be recognized as the champion for Buildings 4.0. Buildings 4.0, it's very similar to Industry 4.0. And when you look at the definition of it, we meet each and every requirements there. So we are perfectly fitting to the expectations. And if I make it simple, what I want is to have KNX inside everywhere. in every building, the new ones and the renovating ones, because we will have to renovate our homes and buildings linked to the energy management expectations. And I want, last but not the least, that stays simple. I want KNX to be learned, to be deployed, used, not only by system integrators. System integrators has been forever our main channel, and system integrator channel will stay. But what I want is to make more. We have out there many more professionals where I want them to learn KNX in one day.
And I think the integrators are such an important part of making it all happen. And that leads me to the question, how do you envision KNX, leading the industry in the energy efficient and eco-friendly solutions?
Okay, so let's start by refreshing ourselves. What is sustainability? And we can find a lot of different definitions around that. That's the buzzword that a lot of people are using. And I found one, which I'm very close to it, is meet the requirements, meet the, let's say, the needs of the present without compromising the needs of the future. So protect our children of our children, protect the planet, what we do today to secure the future. That's, for me, all about sustainability. And when we look what KNX is, a multi-application system, so its capability to mix the different applications which are consuming energy. Its openness to open standards. KNX is an open standard. It's not closed. That means it can connect to different systems to bring the best optimized solution. This migration of IoT, which is now starting and on its way. And all that means that KNX has all the ingredients to serve the sustainability ambitions. Finally, all this is driven by standards. The world is moving by having standards, regulations to meet to have an answer to the pain points. And the EPBD, the Energy Performance Directive for Buildings, and its local implementation shows that KNX will allow new buildings and the rated ones to become what should every building be, Class A or Class B, meaning less consuming energy, even having positive energy production. So, and this can only happen if you combine two things. The multi-application side, as I said before, lighting, blinds, heating, cooling, metering, or what we can do with the new energy sources, the renewable energy sources, which are coming from PV, from battery, from all different sources, get out from the go out from the traditional energy sources. That's the winning game.
And again, in part of that winning game, what are some of the specific initiatives that are going to enhance KNX's impact on sustainability, including the integration of KNX's open system with broader energy and resource-saving technologies?
Our first priority is to allow to a lot of non-KNX specialists, the ones doing EV, PVs, batteries, heat pumps, to connect easily to a KNX system. That's the first challenge we have, and that's why we have for that two assets already developed by the association. Is our API to allow our third-party system to connect to our infrastructure without being an expert. And more, KNX, we call it Point API. We have to change the name, I know, but what allows a company to develop a KNX device without being a KNX expert. That's what we have in front of us to have, ideal word, a plug-and-play approach. And we see that this is happening because we have startups. We have an IT program led by the association. We have startups starting to develop new devices, IoT devices, even showing that the traditional twisted pair KNX device can migrate to an IoT device. So we already see these initiatives, which will help a lot of other companies to make the move the fastest possible. So we have the ingredients to make that happening quite fast.
And for some examples of the sustainability goals that KNX can reach, particularly emphasizing some of the global relevance?
First is to continue and reinforce the KNX recognition in the evolving standards. I said, when you do a business, you look to deliver for today, to sell today. And then you have at the same time, you need to protect your future, protect your sales for the 5 to 10 next years. And here, the standardization is coming in. So we have to make sure, and this is happening, that KNX stays and is recognized, is anchored in the new standards which will come from the different legislations in Europe and the different regions around the globe. And as I said before, we need to get the adoption of the non-KNX players, especially those doing the EV, PV, battery, heat pump solutions to embark with KNX. And last but not the least, I said that, is make KNX more simple. It is the way it is, to bring solutions to make it much more simple, to get much more access to the market, because there is a bunch of professionals that would like to do smart home and smart buildings, but due to the complexity, they are not ready for now, but they will be ready soon.
And that certainly underlines the vision that we need going forward in KNX. Can I switch gears for a minute? Let's talk about some overall strategies for increasing KNX's reach and influences in innovation and community support.
Sure. We have one ongoing initiative I mentioned before is KNX IoT. So here we need to continue to embark startups, but not only. We need to embark new members, which are not KNX players, and as well get the existing KNX members to migrate to KNX IoT. And the journey has just started, and it's a very exciting one in front of us. The second is that actually KNX never rests on one's laurels, which means that KNX is on a constant move. And that's why in the executive board, to bring us to the North Star, we have now 4 working groups with all the board members really active in it. One is focusing on applications, starting by energy management, but as well lighting, to make the lighting application even more sharp than it is today. The second is about standardization. Remember what I just said, standardization is key to secure your 5 to 10 years and more future, to be in the train of changes happening around the field. The third one is about customer journey. And this is very close to my heart, because here it's to bring simplicity. I want us to bring simplicity to all the personas, to the end users, to the integrators, to smart installers. And there is a lot of work which we are currently working on to bring that simplicity. And finally, we are not existing without national groups. We have 45 national groups around the globe. And these are our arms that are locally hardly working to bring KNX as the champion for Buildings 4.0. And here as well, we need to give them to provide much more than what we do today in a standardized way.
All right. And in terms of the audience here, I think a lot of them would like to know how we plan to foster the ecosystem of professionals, to make sure that they're equipped for the future demands of the industry.
So it's a good transition, because I just mentioned national groups. So I want to strongly support the national groups in their local initiatives and bring them the right assets according to the personas we target. We used to have one communication way, whatever the persona. Here we need to adapt the communication, the web, the assets towards the persona. You don't talk the same way when you talk to an end user, a smart installer, an integrator, an architect, a consultant, a distributor. That's the first thing. Adapt to the customers we have in front of us in the full value chain. Second is that we are not alone. We are not alone. We have numerous systems around us. We need to make sure that the market understands the positioning. There is a place for everybody. There is a place for everybody, but it's key to have a well positioning of the different systems. And finally, with the EPBD and with and similar directives, the CRA, which is a must now for Europe, but will have an impact for Asia and other and US as well. The evaluating standards from AC to DC, there is a huge opportunity for everybody to decarbonize homes and buildings for a greener future, because it's all about that, decarbonizing our homes and buildings.
That's an important role and an important job. So, Jean-Christophe, I'm looking very forward to your tenure here at KNX as the new president. But before we open the audience, open up for questions from the audience, I'd like to allow you to have a couple closing words just to summarize what you'd like to say to this audience before I allow them to ask some interesting questions.
I would say that KNX has a huge role to play in the industry. I used to say it works, it will work, and even if not being too arrogant, it will work forever. Because KNX is the system that allows to bring sustainable solution for homes and buildings, to limit what I hope is all close to our daily life, our heart, is limit the climate change. We see out there what's going on. We need to react fast. We need to bring solutions. We have the solutions to limit what is happening. I don't know to mention those who happened recently in Spain. So that's the climate change. I want us to have a positive impact on climate change. Then the next is cybersecurity. It's a fact. It's now. It's not tomorrow. We need to protect our homes, our buildings, to get them sustainable from this point of view. And finally, to offer innovative solutions through our digital platform. And this is, again, for the entire community. I want us to be recognized from the end user for the full chain of personas as the system, the ecosystem to deliver solutions for homes and buildings. So, it's KNX, in a word, is constantly moving, on a constant move. The previous president used the wording, it's a rolling stone. But that's his way of communicating. I leave it to Franz, who again wants to recognize here his huge job that he has done the 10 last years. And I would say we have a lot of work in front of you, very exciting work. And it's only one sentence needs to be remembered today is KNX is because we are.
KNX is because we are. What a great line. I really like that, Jean-Christophe. Looking forward to your tenure as president, and I'd like to open it up to the audience for questions. You've outlined strategic visions, for KNX across innovation, across the ecosystem, across many of the roads we have to navigate through government regulations and government inspiration. So thank you, Jean-Christophe, and thanks for joining us. And now let's see if we have any questions.
Thank you, Bob. It was a pleasure.